The most powerful stories come from the ones we see every day. Not every journey is loud. Some are quiet, raw, and still changing lives. This is Unformed, where real stories unfold. Hello and welcome to another episode of Unformed. Today I have a very special guest with me in the studio. It's Lina. Lina is a holistic healing coach specialized in yoga, meditation, and sound healing. Welcome, Lina. I'm very happy to have you with me today.
Hi, Hiba.
How are you?
Thrilled to be here. I've waited a long time.
I'm very happy because, on a personal level, I really, really love you. And you've always been a bubble of happiness to have around. And there's no difference of who you are as well today. So even we could feel your vibe from the time you entered the studio.
Yes.
So thank you so much for making time and being with me here today. Actually, this morning I was reading something and it reminded me a lot of your journey.
Okay.
I read something that says, when we are no longer able to change a situation, we are constantly challenged to change ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And I said that if I can sum up your journey in a quote, it would be something like that. If you don't mind sharing with us the journey starting from 2017.
Journey started way before 2017.
Okay.
For me, there is a turning point for change. And I feel always in life, you are pushed to these challenges. You are pushed to come out of your comfort zone to change. Otherwise, you're going to get stuck, you're going to stay where you are, and you become stagnant. So, in a way, the journey itself for me of change started way back, like around 2009.
Wow.
So,
this long ago.
the yoga, meditation, and all the holistic healing that I've dived into began in 2009. So it kind of prepared me slowly, gradually, as I went through life, I guess. In 2014, I had the courage to leave a full-time job, move to India, get certified, and the whole idea was to learn more about myself.
So the start of you learning yoga was because you wanted to learn about yourself, or was it something that you're searching for and you found yourself in yoga?
Yeah, I guess I was searching for something, and it ended up basically searching for myself. And sometimes you think you base your happiness on a job, on a relationship, on something really external. So you change this, you change that, you change this, but then constantly you realize that no matter what, there's still a void. So I couldn't understand living in my body, and I'm constantly in a battle with my mind. So that was the journey, was to leave and say, I don't want none of this. I appreciate it, but there's something more of life, and I'm just curious to find out more about it. So this is when the whole thing started, and I moved to India. I learned more with Indian teachers, authentic teachers, really. Like, I was privileged enough to learn traditional ways. I've stayed in an ashram where you just go to really the basic life, and learned a lot of tools, a lot of techniques that helped me find myself again. And from that time on, I said, I can go live anywhere, and it's basically, I found the really key ingredient that was like kind of making me question my whole life, is the key to happiness, basically. The fulfillment is just finding yourself. A lot of time we put our energy and effort into something external again. And once I found that within myself is like, okay, I'm ready to move back to Dubai. And this is when I moved back. It started.
As I know that you moved back and you were supposed to stay only here for a month, I think, or a short period of time, and you were moving back, or you were moving to Japan, if I'm not mistaken. That was the plan.
Yes. Well, it was one of my
how
dreams.
life suddenly it happens.
Exactly. I wanted to, but then life happened, and then I stayed in UAE. I started at that time Yogi Truck. It's a project that I thought what really was missing in my life is basically to connect with nature, to connect with outdoors. And then you live in a busy city. Let's face it, we're all here to make money. Life is very fast, and sometimes life is shallow. So
can you take me through Yogi Truck? Because I remember it was something that is very interesting. I don't know if you still do it until now, or
I'll share with you.
Can you just explain what is the concept, because it's really nice?
Sure. So when I moved back, I wanted a concept to keep me grounded, to keep me connected with nature, and to share my love of yoga and meditation, because it was transformative for me. And I wanted others to kind of also connect with, in the same way. So I've started doing yoga outdoors, but I wanted a mode of transportation. At that time, I wanted to get a van, but I couldn't have it all the way here. So I wanted to convert the van and have like a mini library. I wanted to live in the van, like, you know, at that time. But then I found that the truck is great because it can take me places around in the UAE as well, and I can explore the great outdoors of the UAE. So I've started this concept by just inviting people to come do yoga and meditation with me at the beach. This is how it started. And at the time, I had a full-time job again. I was working in media, and I had an amazing job as well. And after work, like, this was known, like Lina on Wednesday evenings, like, it's scheduled for people to meet me at the beach, do yoga, meditation, and just go for a swim or have a picnic. And and then slowly, gradually, because I kept at it, it became like a social thing. People would meet, and then on weekends we go hiking, we go canyoning, we go cycling. And then I started combining so many activities to just go outdoors, to get out of our couch and just be outside, enjoy the outdoors. And we were in our flow, and people were texting me, when is the next trip? When is the next retreat?
People were looking forward to the next one.
Yes, and at that time, I'm saying 10 years back, there wasn't much around. That gave me so much. And then because I was working full time, I was earning good money, I didn't need, like, and I wanted to make people accountable. Like, I was like, listen, you come, join me, and then you donate whatever you want. And then with this money, we support an orphanage. And for 5 years in a row, we were supporting an orphanage in Kenya. So all the proceeds, whatever we were making, we were just bringing food and helping with school supplies for kids. So it was like, it was a thriving project. It started from just for myself, just because I wanted to be outdoors. I wanted to do yoga outdoors, and that itself inspired others to join me. So moving forward to 2017, I got married in that year. A few weeks after, I got diagnosed with cancer. It's a journey I navigated that. First of all, cancer is never in my family. Second, I am not acquainted to the topic. Like, you hear the word cancer is like a bomb dropped on your head, and you're like, I'm dying. That's the first thing comes to the mind, to be honest. Thank God, at the time, I had the tools, the techniques to navigate this with grace. And I said, okay, I'm scared. I wanted to start a family at the time, and having to navigate an experience that I don't know anything about scared me so much, let alone I was alone. Like, I was here with my husband, but still I was alone. There was no like close, my
Your
close family
was
wasn't
here.
here, and they live in Canada, and I couldn't tell anybody at that. Like, I wasn't sure this is really like happening. So I waited until 100% the topic is confirmed, everything is set, and then I had to tell my family. So starting from this, and I go back to tools and techniques, because otherwise, shouldn't I have had gone through these years of practice of yoga, of meditation, of finding stillness, of finding presence, gratitude, grounding, I would have been lost. I would have had panicked, and I would have had gone the extreme way.
Your body at that time was out of your control, but your thoughts were not. And you were able to, even now that I remember the story, I think it's deeply inspiring the way you handled it and the strength you had to get control of your thoughts and your mind. And this is the basis of almost everything we do in life. And how were you able to trick your mind constantly?
I'm gonna say first yes and no. In the beginning, it's scary. It's a scary ride. It's a scary like news. So first of all, what I've learned, that I allowed myself to feel the feelings. I allowed myself to be scared. But then I said, why not me? This is something I learned, because anything else that people go through can happen to us as well. So I told my mind that, why not?
It's normally the opposite. It's the victimization that happens, that why me?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly it. Right away, the mind wants to go right away to being a victim. So I caught myself in this loophole of my thoughts, and I said, why not? And then I said, okay, what's in it for me? So I said, I'm gonna dive into this feeling of being scared, and I'm gonna see what's in it for me. So I've started my baby steps, slowly, gradually. And then I voiced how I felt to the close people in my circle. So, tricking the mind, yes. Feelings are there. You have to face them. You cannot run away from your feelings.
So you would say the first step of managing a situation is to recognize and sit with what you're feeling.
Yes, give permission for yourself to receive the news. Give yourself the permission to, I would say, digest it, process it, take your time, feel it.
But normally when you pass through something like
Yes.
this, or a lot of people pass through very painful experiences, how do you try to detach your feelings from your thoughts?
Because
It's really hard.
yes, of course, because this is a major thing, like major theory we learned in yoga, detachment. And this is so difficult to practice on day-to-day basis.
And especially when someone is passing through something painful,
Yes.
you can't get yourself back to reality at some point. How do you do that?
I've learned in yoga to repeat to myself, I'm not my body, I'm not my mind. How often we look at ourselves in the mirror and we think that we are this body, and then we start judging how our body looks, how our face looks, our hair looks. We judge ourselves, okay? So we are more than a body, because as we age, as we grow, the body changes, our feature change as well. And then we just have to accept that and sit with it, and then we have to ride this growth as well. So in a way, with meditation, the meditation was I always wanted to learn how to meditate, and I didn't learn till like so many years later, and my mind kept like this monkey mind, until I've learned to find my stillness. And so this mantra really helped me to detach from it. It's like, yes, because actually at one time, during my trainings, I had an issue with my face, and then it's an experience that I had to also navigate. And the teacher at the time, he's like, just take this mantra, and you're more than your face. Like this, I had a breakout in my face, and I couldn't accept how my face was looking at the time. And he's like, your eyes are glowing. Why do you keep looking at this? You're more than the pimples in your face. You're more than what you're going through. It's just an experience. You just need to look at yourself in the mirror and keep telling yourself that you're more than this. So in a way, like I kept telling my mind, I kind of exchanged those negative thoughts to something more positive. And it really helped me, because I was sitting with it every single day, and I was telling myself that, to a point that I believed it in a way, and I was like, yeah, it was just temporary, and then in no time it was gone. So yes, I had to, like, by just coming to the mind and just recognizing what's going on inside and facing it, and allow things to surface so we can navigate them, I guess.
Mm-hmm. And you believe that when people pass through hard experiences,
yes,
either very few, they're able to recognize this and know how to do something like this. Unfortunately, I would say, because it's very hard. It's not an easy thing to do. It's super hard.
Yes.
Especially that when you are going through something painful, you somehow have a block.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have the tendency to avoid it. You start feeling that you're having an avoidance issue, that I don't want to wake up, I don't want to go, I don't want to talk to anyone. And this happened to a lot of people that I know, that at some point they just they want to run away.
Yes, of course.
And you were able to bring back yourself to reality constantly. How do you do it? And what are the things that you tell your mind, or the stories, or how do you think about situations like that?
Look, I was this person also. Remember, I told you there was something within me that was not fulfilled. So these conversations, these negative thoughts, these negative conversations within myself were there. I was a victim. I was a victim so many times. And that's why at one point I was like, this is not how I want to live my life. What is it that I can change? So through my trainings, I've learned to be disciplined. I've learned to show up. I've learned to accept. I've learned to learn that pain is inevitable. Like, we all go through painful experiences, but suffering is a choice. I've learned that I have the choice to say yes, to say no. Okay, I have a painful experience, and I'm going through a painful experience, and I have gone through many painful experiences, like many of you guys who are watching, like also for you, Hiba. But here is you have a cut in your hand. You keep kind of going through the wound, or you give it time to heal. So it's your choice. You want to like visit this, or just kind of take care of it, tell it, okay, listen, I'm injured, I'm broken, I'm hurt, I'm abandoned, I got left, I don't know, whatever the experience may be. And of course, speaking about it, is easy. But the doing is difficult. But because, of course, we want to run away. Because the pain, who wants to go through a painful experience? But only what I've learned, Hiba, that blessed who are going through painful experiences. Only the mind is so interesting because the mind only learns through these challenges.
Why do you say so?
Well, I could always say from personal experience. Then there are so many studies out there that justify this, justify that. Many psychologists, they speak about this as well.
What do you think you learned through this painful experience as Lina?
Which one?
I think we need to go back to navigate through the journey.
Of course, Habibi. Every single experience will teach you something. Every single, for me, abandonment, being abandoned, taught me to come back to myself.
So going back to the story, so just for everyone who are watching,
yes,
for them to know a background, you were able to navigate the story of the health, let's say, challenges that you were facing.
Yes.
So alhamdulillah, you were able to pass through it, and then life tested you again.
Yes.
And I remember you were saying in one of the podcasts that you did that your ex-husband leaving you shattered you almost more than you getting the news of cancer.
Yes, so much, Hiba, so much, because I waited. Like for me, my dream, my humble dream was to have a family, because growing up, my dad was not around. He was abroad working, and I was with my mom and brothers living away from my dad. So there was always a void in my heart, in my being, that I've missed out so much having my dad around. And when I was basically living in the UAE, and you live alone, you work alone, you come home, you're lonely, you feel the void, there's something missing, and you always think that another person is gonna fill this void. I want to get married, I want to have a family, I want to, thinking that this is gonna bring you happiness, of course. And of course it does, but it's not everything, because you come back to yourself, you find that fulfillment with yourself, you find that. But I've waited a long time to my late 30s to get married, mid-30s. And then when I got married, right away, I had cancer, so I couldn't start a family. And then luckily, in a beautiful miracle from God, I was able to conceive. And the minute the year I conceived, the year after, the husband left. I'm like, please. And then for me, it was like I saw my dream shattered. I saw myself having to come home, and my daughter is not there. I was in void. I could not explain to you the kind of pain I had to endure. And I'm so compassionate with every person going through any painful experience. I've lived this pain to my core, Hiba. My baby was so small. It's either I allowed my feeling to surface, again. I've created a network of friends, of group of people that they could hold me. I could just pick up the phone, and some of them were not living where I were in the UAE, for example, but I trusted them. I just wanted an advice. I'd wanted a support. So creating this group of friends, a group of trust that had gave me the comfort. And then I leaned to study, that I kept my mind engaged. I wasn't running away from facing my reality. I allowed the time. And the beautiful thing about the story, and it's so beautiful because now 3 years down the road, I feel, look, with healing is a slow transition, but it's a conscious choice as well. Like, I want to get up. I want to do. I've never took a pill to numb me, not to deal with my pain, because I didn't want to. I wanted to challenge my mind. I said, okay, what's in this story for me? I wanted to learn what's in the story for me. Okay, he left. What can I learn? What's in it for me? In the beginning, I couldn't see. It was like, I just had, like, the pain was so strong that I had to navigate it and I had to face it. And it's funny, like, when a thought is so big, with time, the thought becomes smaller and smaller. So you move with grace, slowly, gradually. And I allowed this. I realized through my healing journey that I also would run away. And it was a pattern in me in breakups. Okay, let's say before. You block the person, you leave her. This time, I wanted to face it differently. And I've learned I didn't want to be avoidant. I wanted to navigate it. And you said the key word to it, like showing up to someone who's still present in our life, how to deal with it. And I said, she is the priority. She deserves parents who show up for her. And I will not lie. I many times I wanted to leave. I'm going to leave. But I was like, you know what? Are you choosing from a space of emotion? And yes, I would ask myself, I was angry. I'm betrayed. I wanted to leave. I wanted to be alone. But I'm like, how am I solving the issue here? By leaving. By solving the issue, you show up to it. As hard as it is, you show up. You show up with all what you've got.
And this makes you stronger time after time? Does it get easier?
At times, yes. Because again, the mind, the whole experience is all about our mind. The mind feels unsafe and in trouble. And it affects your nervous system. And the whole signals to the body, I'm dying, I'm like this whole, the signals to each and every cell of your being is that. So I wasn't sleeping, I wasn't eating well, all this, like, I allowed it. And I know it's okay. But I kept soothing my mind. Hey, mind, I know you feel this way and it's okay. And I know. So I was speaking to my mind as if I'm speaking to my baby. I was soothing my mind.
So you were taking yourself out of your body and looking down at yourself.
Yes, and I think this is the key to soothe the mind. In moments of anxiety, in moments of depression, why do we, in all that? Because we're not allowing our emotions to surface. And only by showing up to our emotions and telling the mind, we have to soothe our mind. We have to tell the mind, hey, I'm here for you. I'm not leaving. You're not alone. And I mean, this is all what we want to hear from anybody, right? I'm here, I love you, I care for you. So I was telling that to myself. I said, what do you need today? You want to rest? You rest. You want a hug? Ask for I would get an extra hug from my daughter, you know? Whatever I wanted, I would first give it to myself. So again and again, this challenge brought me back closer to myself. And you're asking if it's gonna get easier? Because once you get to know yourself, you fly. It's such a beautiful experience to get to know yourself. You come back to your own powers. You learn to find your balance. You learn to ride the wave and say, it is a wave. And then what's in it for me? So you learn how to ride the wave.
Yeah, you're reminding me of the book Let Them. It's one of my favorite books, honestly. And it has this concept, for whoever doesn't know. It's to let things happen in your life.
Yeah.
And let people be who they are.
Yes.
And let things just take their path. The only tricky part is that it's easier said than done.
Yes.
Because when you're in the middle of it,
you don't see clearly.
No. And at some point there is a very fine line between letting them happen and putting boundaries.
Yes.
So you feel like, okay, I will let things out of my control happen, but how can I protect my peace first?
Yeah.
And how can I put boundaries that I will let them be themselves, but I'll have boundaries with them that, okay, you want to be like that? Great. But it's not working between us, whether it's friends, family. It's a really tricky thing to do or say, and as I said, it's always easier said than done. So how do you navigate something like that?
Look, it takes, I'm gonna call it the emotional intelligence. You need to rise above the emotion, because every time you react out of emotion, it's a loss. It's a loss. You're this. Okay. And then?
And it's the first thing normally.
It's the first thing we want to like, we want to blame, we want to shame. You did the, you know what? The trick is to first withdraw yourself. Again, we come back to emotion. Catch the emotion. What's in it? You're angry, you're frustrated, you're overwhelmed. Catch, okay, give yourself, withdraw, give yourself this space to process this emotion alone, and then come to the person.
And then address the situation.
Address it. And when you address it, you give the mind the clarity. It's like a dark cloud, and slowly it's going to disperse in the sky, and it's not going to be as, well, it'll be gray, lighter gray, and then the mind is, it's not that bad. So when you're frustrated, when you're overwhelmed, when you're depressed, any kind of heavy emotion you feel, allow it. Do not run away. For a year, I couldn't do my yoga flow the way I do, and I would check in with my body. What do I need? I just need, the last, like in Shavasana, the last posture in yoga, when like all of us, we long to come to this. I couldn't do but this. I allowed myself to just give my body time to process. How? What? It's, because when any moment of these hard moments happen to the mind, it's like an accident. It's not like, let's say someone is sick, and since the beginning, and you've been with them since day one till 5, 6, 7 years. It's kind of preparing the mind. They've been sick, let's say we know they passed away, and maybe they're young, they passed away, but you say, but they were sick. It's like, you've been prepared for
yes,
this.
life is preparing.
Yes,
you for it.
But when something happens sudden, a person withdraws, and then or a person passes away suddenly.
You're never ready for something.
Yeah, you're not ready for the magnitude of this. The mind says, panics, doesn't know. Give it time to process it. Give it time. And this is how we start building resilience, by cultivating a sense of wisdom, of grace, of peace. And guess what? In the end, we behave from this. I'm not behaving with anger. I'm not mirroring your anger. So when you're angry with me, I let you be. I withdraw myself.
I remember very well something that you told me once, and I never forgot it.
Sure.
You told me, I was telling you about a situation, and then I was telling you I'm not sure how to face it.
Okay.
Because I know that if I speak up, the other person would be really angry. And then you looked at me and you said, I don't understand, where is the problem? And you told me something. You told me that you are only responsible about how you behave.
Yes.
How you act or how you react. Give the other person the permission to react the way they want.
Yes.
So if you're saying something to someone and they suddenly start shouting, or they suddenly get so angry and they lose the control over themselves, you should observe and not absorb. And I learned this from you. It's super hard. I'd be lying if I tell you that I'm able to navigate it constantly. But every time I'm facing any discussion, or whether it's at work, whether it's private relations, I'm always that person who reminds themselves that, okay, I will go there, I will say what I'm feeling, and I will say what I think about the situation. And I will always expect the person to react the way they feel like reacting, or the way they are sometimes ready to react.
Yeah.
Because what I also noticed that some people, they need a lot of time to digest the situation, and it would be very, very, let's say, not mindful from my side to think that I can force them to react to the situation the way I'm expecting them to react.
Yes.
And at the same time, I allowed myself to react to situations in different ways, and I forgave myself to react to situations in different ways, because I was not able to control myself at that situation. And when someone comes and tells me, you were so emotional about it, I said, yes, but that's what I felt. I'm trying to work on it.
Yep.
But that's normal, because I'm trying to control my emotion. It won't work every time. Sometimes it will work, sometimes it won't.
It's work in progress.
Yeah.
Let's say it's work in progress. We keep doing it until we master it, until it becomes a natural state of our being. This is how we react to situations. But we need to, and you said a beautiful word, Hiba, to forgive myself. And it's okay to catch ourselves sometime in a weak moment. It's okay, we're human. And it's something I always teach my daughter. We're human and we make mistakes. Even mama makes mistakes. And it's okay to make mistakes. So what? But then have the audacity to say, hey, I did a mistake. And so what? Even even mama did a mistake. I'm so sorry. And say, I'm sorry.
How do you teach your daughter to deal with what she's feeling? Because I'm a big fan of Gabor Mate, and he always says that there's a very big mistake that happens constantly in the world, where we don't teach children how to take control of their feeling. And he always puts it that children are born in a way that they can't control anything. They don't know those feelings. They can't label them. They don't know if they're angry, if they're jealous, if they're sad.
Yes.
They can't navigate those feelings and have control over them. With Leia, how do you think that you're learning how to teach her to navigate those feelings in young age, because it will help her a lot when she's older?
Thank you for asking. It's such a beautiful question, and I feel like kids are our best teachers. We learn with every child. You learn something new, of course. The funny thing about being a parent, first you become to imitate your own parents in a way, because you've kind of got the education from. So you start, but then you learn that something tricky there, and I'm not being able to address it. And then we have all the tools these days. We learn, we have so much out there. And what I've learned, before I teach her, I had to teach myself. I had to tell myself how to deal with my own emotions when I'm angry, because kids first learn from their parents. Like, she will see me when I'm angry, how I'm dealing with my anger. So, going back to the divorce, she's experienced it all with me. I had moments I would I'm driving, I would pull over, I would cry, sob my heart out, and go, before I was like, Leia, I'm not screaming at you. Like, she's sitting in the back seat. I'm like, I'm not screaming at you. Mommy is angry, and she just have to let it out. So I gave her a warning, first of all, like how I'm navigating my own feelings. So Going back to her, when she faces these big feelings that she doesn't know how to navigate, a child want to pull the hair, want to bite you, because this is a reaction, and they don't know. I come and I sit with her, and I'm like, if I do this to you, how does it feel? It's like, it hurts me. I was like, Mama, you hurt me. So listen, when mom is angry, what does mama do? She say, you scream? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, do I hurt anybody? No. Do I hurt myself? No.
Sorry.
So I question her first. And I ask her, how do you feel? So she's in the tantrum itself. Let's say, I let her. And I tell her, Mama, I know, I validate how she feels. Mama, are you feeling angry? She does this. I'm like, I know you are feeling angry. I let you be, I'm here. Whenever you're ready for a hug, I'm here to hug you. Can I come and hug you? She says no. I give her space. And she's like, she stays, guys. I was like, and I give her a few moments, and I keep observing. I was like, can I come and hug you? Okay. Then I give her space, and I keep looking. Can I come now? She says.
So she's no longer angry at you.
No.
She's just angry, and she's trying to express it in a way or another.
Then I give her a hug. I just hug her, and I don't say anything. And then, before we go to sleep, Mama, remember today what happened? We talk about it. What happened there? Do you want to share with me? So we talk. So when we talk, I tell her, Mama, you've seen me also. It's normal to get angry. I mean, even for grown-ups, till today, we don't know how to navigate these big feelings. These big feelings are there even for us. And sometimes we don't know how to navigate it, Habibi. But, we just need to it's okay to feel it. And it's okay to feel this way. Because I'm so sorry, like your toy broke. It's a big thing. It's a big thing. And I'm so sorry. So I let her also see from my side as well. And we talk later on. Not like I don't lecture during, or it's not a lecture, but
she's not ready because she's not ready to hear that.
They just want to be heard, seen, and give them the space to process their feeling. And then I give her a hug, and we're friends again.
Yes. I can spend hours talking to you, but unfortunately we're coming towards the end of the podcast. One last question before we wrap up.
Okay.
To whoever is watching, and many of whom they're passing through a painful experience, a heartbreak, abandonment, or uncertainty, or some of them they even labeled it as hitting rock bottom. What would you tell someone passing through these experiences that you wished someone whispered to you when you were passing through your painful experiences?
I would tell you, you're not alone, and you don't have to feel that you are alone. And please seek the help. Have the courage to just pick up the phone, even to a friend. You don't have to be where you are, of course, and it's valid where you are, but you don't have to navigate it alone. There are plenty of communities, there are plenty of support out there, and you'd be surprised once you open up. Many like you are going through the same, but so many people don't want to share. So you'll be surprised once you start sharing the kind of support and how doors will open for you. So I hope you have the strength to raise your hand and say, I need help. And there's no shame in doing so. And I've asked help so many times, and thank God I did, because I wouldn't be where I am today without the support that I've received. So yeah.
Thank you so much, Lina. It's always a pleasure sitting and talking to you. Basanjad, I hope everyone who watches this feels as inspired as I am today. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next episode.
Thank you, Hiba. I loved being here.